on changing locations and shit. Man, into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way, I mean. Sacrificing time for this shit, man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago, they ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool, I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace, I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend, we should try again. You been on my mind, you should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl, you know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I hit the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I
What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Henny DeMoore reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? You know, hope all is well. And listen, man, this is lunch break takes. I know y'all done worked about half your day so far. You know, you probably stressed out, probably a little anxiety, you know, about the game coming up. You can't get slapping drunk, you gotta take your ass back to work. But we can get a little tipsy, you know, on this Dallas Cowboys content today, man. So it's your boy Henny DeMoore. This is the liquor store, and you know we be talking Dallas Cowboys football, man. Salute to everybody already in the liquor store, though, man. I see a lot of folks already trying to patronize and buy their own bottles. I see the original people in the building. Long time no see, my brother. Hope all is well. My guy Israel Madrid, what's up with you? He said, "What's up, Henny? Let's go Cowboys! Salute, salute." Gut Bomber is crazy, but salute the Gut Bomber, you know, in the building. We be you be bumming niggas, we be bumming nigga guts over this motherfucker, man. They mamas, they old ladies, we gonna bum they guts. Rogue X in the building, man. What's good with you? Big Dal in the building. What's good with you? Salute to everybody sliding in. So listen, this is not gonna be a long show. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is lunch break takes. I'm on my lunch break right now. So we ain't gonna be able to run our mouths that long. But y'all know the usual rules of engagement. Hit that like button, hit that share if you care, hit the cash app, hit the super chat, slap the shit out of a Lions fan because you know they ass deserve it. And without further ado, we gonna make it do what it do, and we gonna talk some Dallas Cowboys football. And really, man, we're so close to the actual game. We need to talk about a little bit of matchup football, right? What do the Lions do defensively? And the answer to that is very simple. They like to man up. They play a lot of man coverage. Hey, salute to the original people with the cash app, man. Thank you for the love and the support. And remember, we are back practicing manifestation inside of the liquor store. We trying to manifest some titles for the Cowboys. Now, we was doing 6. I used to tell people to put 6 sixes in the chat box. In hindsight, double, triple six probably wasn't the best way to manifest positive energy. So we doing 7 from now on. The original people cashed out $7. When you share the content, I want you to share the content 7 times. You know, I want you to drop 7 championship trophies and 7 shot glasses. Because 7 is the number of completions. The Lord made the world in 6 days and he rested on the 7th. The Dallas Cowboys are on the road to a Super Bowl and they got to complete the journey. So we're going to put the number of completion, which is 7, in the chat box. So put 7 championship trophies, share the content 7 times, and that's how we're going to manifest in the liquor store, man. And salute to the C in the building. Salute to James Simmons in the building. Salute to everybody tapping in, man. I appreciate y'all for the support. But yeah, we're this close now. You know, like the Dallas Cowboys are going to be on a plane, you know, today, headed to Detroit. You know what I mean? So it's all about the matchups now. It's all about matchup football. How can we properly attack what they're doing? Who's the weakest member of their secondary that we can isolate and attack? You know, who can we bully in the run game? Like, stuff like that is what really paramount and important, you know, the closer and closer that we get to an actual game. You know what I mean? The rah-rah shit was cool, but now we need to talk about some matchup football. Right? So, judging by this, I don't know if you can see it. You know, you might not be able to see it. It is, you know, sort of small. But if you are able to use your eyes and look at the Detroit Lions, they're all the way at the bottom. Right above the Commanders. They're a team that use a whole lot of man coverage. Cover 0, 3%. And you know, cover 0 is an all-out blitz. No safeties in the back. You know, everybody manned up across the board. You know, that's what cover 0 is. Cover 1, you know, the Dan Quinn special. They play that 40% of the time. Cover 2 man, also known as cover 5, when you play man across the board with 2 high safeties. Everybody underneath is manned up. And then, you know, you got split field safeties. Some people call it cover 2 man. Some people call it cover 5. It's the same thing. So if you tally that up, you know, they use man coverage almost 50% of the time. It's damn near a 50-50 split, you know, when you talk about the kind of coverage that they play. Salute to D Holmes in the building, man. What's good with you? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, man. Salute to my guy. So yeah, this is a team that plays a whole lot of man. The bigger question I have, because let's be 1,000. Let's use our mental capacity to just talk through this. In order to play man coverage, and to play man coverage as much as they do, you need good man-to-man coverage cornerbacks. Right? You need people that can actually run and stay with these top-tier athletes that everybody got at wide receiver. They really are struggling in that aspect right now. I don't know if y'all saw Boss Land last night. If you ain't, you know, shameless plug, go tap into that. Go watch that. Give that a rewatch. Real good content. Salute to my brother Boss. Salute to my brother Landlord. Salute to my brother Amp. It was a great show. But we talked about this on the show. You know, Terrion Arnold. You know, Terrion Arnold, you know, is he's out, you know. And I hate that for the young man, because I love the boy coming up out of Alabama. You know, he's a great prospect. You know, he's very aggressive. He's very physical. You know, he's great in run support. You know, he's a lot of things, and they would not have him. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury, and you know, because of that, he had to go on IR. He got to have a procedure. I pray the young man has a speedy recovery, and he back on the football field in no time. You know what I'm saying? Great young talent, great young player. Hate to see anybody hurt, but because of his absence, because he's not going to be out there, are they going to have a tendency change? Or are they just going to say we play man, so we're going to play man regardless of who we got out there, right? We're going to put our backup one-on-one on the island with George Pickens. We're going to put our backup one-on-one on the island with CeeDee Lamb. If they go about it like that, it's going to be a very long night. You know? And honestly, even if they play zone, right, we have a veteran quarterback. We have a quarterback that's seen every iteration of zone you can see. You know, he's seen cover 6, you know, which is a combo coverage. You play cover 4 on one side, you play cover 2 on one, and you know the cover 4 side is still match principle. You know, he's seen, you know, cover 3, cover 2, Tampa 2. palms, quarters, fire zones. Like there's nothing that you could throw at Dak Prescott, from a zone perspective that he has not seen. He's a 10-year veteran. So, and a fun fact that I just realized, this is a team over the last 4 games that only has 4 sacks. So they're not even getting to the quarterback. So if you're going to have a tendency breaker, let's say that you're concerned because you want to play man coverage, but your best cover guy is out. So you might be forced to play more zone coverage. Well, if you're not getting home, with your front 4, and you're gonna drop everybody, you're gonna rush 4 and drop 7, right? That only works if the pass rush, can bother the quarterback. If they're not going to touch Dak Prescott and he can climb the pocket and deliver the football accurately, and give his wide receivers time to get to the open areas of the field, because there's no such thing as a zone coverage to take away everything. There's no such thing as a perfect defense. Eventually, somebody is going to come open. If that's the case, I like our chances. I like our chances against their defense. And this is not, the only thing. Back to the prospect of us talking about the pass rush. Since week 10, these are the highest graded edge players in the National Football League. Most of these are Dallas Cowboys, Well, matter of fact, these are actually just the grade. These are the grades of all the pass rushers that will be available for this game. Sam Williams is the 3rd highest graded edge rusher in the league since week 10. He has a grade of an 89.8. Kudos to Sam Williams. Like, he's somebody that I tried to kick off the team. He's somebody that I've been very, very, very critical of. He's somebody, that that I expected more out for him earlier on in the season. But in these recent weeks, he's played much better football. He's made tackles for loss. He's done forced fumbles. He's done his part. And as somebody mentioned, my brother Jay Recruiter, salute to you. Glad to see you. They were tapping in. As Jay Recruiter mentioned, there's a very good chance that Jadeveon Clowney does not play. Jadeveon Clowney right now is being listed as a game time decision. Unless some news on that done broke. Unless they done officially ruled him out. Last time I checked, they said that he was going to be a game time decision. If he cannot play and he can't go, somebody on the Dallas Cowboys team has to step up. Because, one of those starting jobs is already Donovan Izaraku. Donovan Izaraku is already on the other side doing his thug this. So when it comes down to it, if Jadeveon Clowney cannot play, it's going to have to be James Houston. It's going to have to be Sam Williams. It's going to have to be, Dante Fowler, who also has come alive. He had a sack this last game running down Patrick Mahomes. So Jadeveon Clowney will be a big loss if he can't play. But we're very deep at defensive end. We just need them to, set the edge, rush the passer without giving up your lane integrity, and play sound fundamental football, no penalties, and we should be able to still get out of this game with a dub. I would hate if Clowney can't play. He's a great run defender. He just had 2 sacks this last game. His length and athleticism really bothers, tackles, because he can reach. Really bother quarterbacks too, because even when you feel like you got him hemmed up, he really can get around you, man. Like the way that landlord describes is like bench pressing somebody. That's really what it looks like. But yeah, man, but I still like our odds. And to the point, though, you see all these Dallas Cowboys players ranked in the top 30, top 33. The Detroit Lions, Aiden Hutchinson just got the bag. He's the 34th ranked, edge player since week 10. Tyler Lacey, the 49th ranked edge rusher since week 10. Al Caden Muhammad, 73rd ranked edge rusher since week 10. So man, if they do go in there, but remember, we got on this subject because we talk about what they want to do, what they like to do. This is a team that plays man coverage almost 50% of the time. The biggest issue they have right now is Terry Arnold is on IR, and their best cover guy is down. So if they gotta throw a tendency breaker out there, if they don't think they have the cornerbacks to stay with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens in man-to-man coverage, and they get to zone, the pass rush is going to be very important. We just sat here and seen they ain't doing shit in terms of their edges. Now, Aiden Hutchinson is dope. He's going through a bad stretch right now, but he's a dope player. He's a great talent. But 4 sacks in 4 games is worrisome, especially if you got to dial back the amount of times that you blitz, because they are also a top 10 team in terms of a blitz rate. They do blitz a whole lot, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're 10th. They blitz 31% of the time. They play man coverage almost 50% of the time. And they may not be able to do the things that they like. They may not be able to do the things that they like, based on who is or who isn't playing. So that's something to keep an eye out on, as we progress. And, the injury report will become more clear as well. Terry Arnold's already ruled out. They might be without Kirby Joseph, an all-pro safety, one of the best in the game. Led the NFL in interceptions last year. Just got a huge contract. He hasn't played in 2 months. He got a bad knee. Something's wrong with it. They're not too sure about it. So if they don't have Kirby Joseph and they don't have Terry Arnold, I'm not seeing how they feel comfortable enough to play that amount of man. I'm just not sure, how they're comfortable playing that amount of man with those injuries. He said Hutchinson is a dirty player. You ain't the only person that said that. You're not the only person that said that. So, and listen, I know exactly what you're talking about. 2023, when he was finna sack Dak Prescott, I think it was Terrence Steele that saved Dak Prescott from, getting his leg broke because he caught him on the way down so that he couldn't fall on him. So I understand what y'all saying. Believe me, I do. But yeah, I don't know how they plan on playing that much man or blitzing that much. If they don't have anybody to run with George Pickens, or they ain't got nobody to run with CeeDee Lamb. Another point of interest. We still don't know the status of Amon-Ra St. Brown. We still are not entirely sure if Amon-Ra St. Brown will be able to play for the Detroit Lions. And that's something that will greatly hinder their ability to move the ball against us. Now, this is a team that likes to run the ball. They're going to try and establish the run game. They're a heavy play action usage team. And they still got some large targets. J-Mo's a bigger wide receiver. Isaac Tesla's a bigger wide receiver. So they still got bigger targets that they can try and push the ball downfield to. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of them ones. He's an all-pro, perennial Pro Bowler. Even this year, he's close to breaking the 1,000-yard mark. Already has 8 touchdowns on the season, I believe, same amount as the brother George Pickens. So, he's been a very efficient and a very effective player for a long time at this point. And if Jared Goff does not have him, it greatly impacts what they can do offensively. Because honestly, if you don't have the threat of Amon-Ra St. Brown back there, if you don't at least have the threat of Amon-Ra St. Brown, I might play more 5-man fronts than I've been doing all year. I know that I've already increased the amount of 5-man fronts that I play, but I'm selling out at this point to stop, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery. I'm selling out to stop them. If there is no Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm going to dare Jared Goff to try and beat me throwing to his backup wide receivers. Now, Jamo Cole and Isaac Tesla is a Razorback. I fuck with him. Yeah, it said latest on St. Brown is that he is a game time decision, but trending to unlikely. Yep, all-world tackle. Penei Sewell also ended up on the injury report with a shoulder. They got a bunch of injuries right now, man. They got a whole bunch of injuries right now. All right, can y'all see that any better? Y'all let me know. I think I tried to increase the size of it, but I'm not sure if y'all can really view it like that. I'm finna actually jump on YouTube just to see how that view is looking, just to make sure it looks alright. You know what I'm saying? Also, now that I'm over here, on YouTube and I'm looking, y'all really doing your boy dirty right now, man. You doing me a little dirty because there's over 60 people inside the liquor store right now as we speak, and there's only like 25 likes, man. I thought y'all liked the homie Henny, man. I thought y'all rock with me like that, man. So please, if you ain't did so already, and I know the content be good, I know the conversations be compelling and shit. When I watch a video, sometimes I forget to like. But please hit that like button. Please hit the share if you care. Please slap the shit out of an Eagles fan, because the Lord knows they deserve it. Backhand a Lions fan, and hit the cash up with a super chat, man. If you want to help keep the lights on in the liquor store, you can hit the cash app, which is $Henny the more for donations. What's up, Nigel? Thank you for tapping in and showing love, man. Salute to the brother Nigel. Happy engagement again. Salute to my guy. He said, shame for not hitting that like. Yeah, don't do me dirty, man. Don't do me dirty. Get them likes up. Get them shares up. Slap them Eagles fans. Get your slaps up. My boy said a little Henny for your lunch. Just a little bit. Especially if you operate heavy machinery. If you operate heavy machinery, your ass need to drink a Coke. Not no Henny and Coke, just a flat out Coke, nigga. A Diet Coke if the caffeine is too much for you. We don't need you fucking nothing up when you go back to the job site and you out here working heavy machinery. You ain't gonna say, oh man, I was in the liquor store with Henny, man. He said we gonna get drunk. I'm like, nah, nigga, I was not talking to you. I put my disclaimer out. If you was going back to work and you gotta use heavy machinery or you gotta get on the road, your ass need a Diet Coke or something. Don't drink no liquor. Yep. The easiest path to victory for the Detroit Lions tomorrow is going to be the run game. Their ability to run the ball is going to be their best bet in trying to win that football game. This is their best bet because they got injuries at the wide receiver position. Their defense is banged up. They're going to need to try and control the clock, control the ball, move down the field, and score points that way. They got to run the ball, utilize play action, scheme some stuff up for some of these lesser talented wide receivers, and see if they can win a battle like that. Because they're not built right now to get into a shootout with the Dallas Cowboys. They're not built right now to get into a shootout with the Dallas Cowboys with the injuries they have on defense, and the question marks they have along their offensive line. Because remember, Jared Goff is not Patrick Mahomes. If the pocket breaks down, he is going down. And there's questions right now on if they can protect, Jared Goff, from a play-to-play, snap-by-snap basis. Especially if Penei Sewell can't play. Especially, if Glasgow is less than 100%. Especially, if some of these other guys are still banged up and can't, participate. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I don't think that they want to try, and go out there and do that. I don't know if they want to do that. Hey Henny, what's up? Sharing your video, pushing the like button. I appreciate that, man. I thank you for that. Thank you for the love and the support, man. That's love right there. Good afternoon, Miss Regina. Thank you for tapping in. Cause listen, let's put it to y'all like this. Imagine Dak Prescott had to play this game without George Pickens. That's pretty much the equivalent of, Jared Goff having to play this game without Amon-Ra St. Brown. Salute to Nigel with the super chat. My brother said, I say run up the score. They would do that to us. They didn't care Dak was out last season. Listen, Dak played, but Michael Parsons didn't play. DeMarcus Lawrence didn't play. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure who all was healthy for our team on the defensive side when we played. So you damn right. Like, they did not care that we had injuries the last time that we played. So if we get the opportunity to beat their ass and put up some points, to go ahead and put them out their misery, we should do it. And besides, I don't trust my defense enough, not to put up points. Just in case, because we have seen, we have seen some craziness, but So let's put up some points regardless. Got to get Goff off his timing. Want him with a sub 65% completion percentage. I agree with you. If you get him off his spot, he's not the same quarterback. I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback, but he's not the same quarterback if he got to move from his spot. That's documented. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And listen, he can change that narrative one day. Maybe one day he start making more plays off script and out of structure. Maybe he'll start hitting passes outside of the pocket more often. Accurately, more consistently. But Jared Goff is a guy that you don't necessarily got to blitz him. He handles the blitz very well. I will give that to Jared Goff. He handles the blitz well. But if you drop back and you bring some simulated pressures and you're able to force him out of the pocket, if you're able to get some interior pressure on him, he'll have a long day at the office, man. He'll have a long day at the office. So I think that Jared Goff is a pretty good quarterback, but I think there's a blueprint and a path to victory where we can neutralize a lot of his effectiveness, in this football game. We got to execute. We got to do the things that we need to do, from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint to pull out this blowout. We want to blow out. We want to blow these guys out. We don't want to leave no doubt, right? That what we're pushing for. We don't want to leave no doubt in our minds, that we're a real team and a real contender, right? But in order to do that, we got to execute. Part of executing, is on the passing downs that they give Jared Goff. We got to make his life miserable. We got to hit him. We got to force him out of the pocket. We got to make him hold the ball a little bit longer on the back end so he gets a little fidgety. And that becomes easier, if Trayvon Diggs is out there. I'm not gonna hold you. Veteran cornerback with an improved pass rush. I'm not sure why that would not help Trayvon Diggs out. If he plays, there's no guarantee that Trey plays. There's no guarantee that Jadeveon Clowney plays, right? But this is a game that we cannot afford to lose. We just cannot afford to lose this game. So we'll have to figure this shit out, man. Just straight up and down. This is something that we have to figure out if we want to make the postseason. He said, Dan sounded nervous in his press conference. I saw. He knows the importance of this game as well. He knows the importance of this game as well, man. He knows that if he loses head-to-head against the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to be very hard to get to the postseason. And vice versa. We know if we lose to the damn Lions, it's going to be very hard to get into the postseason. That's a double whammy. You would have lost another head-to-head. You would have lost another NFC game, and you would have prevented yourself from staying close to the other teams in the playoff hunt. Like the 49ers and the Packers and everybody else like that. So you got to do what you got to do in these upcoming games. And I like Shotty's approach when he said it's a week by week, game by game, situation of focusing in. And he believes that gives us the best chance of winning. Yeah, the Lions are a very good team when healthy. And they're not healthy right now. So we need to take advantage of that. Nobody showed us sympathy when we played the first half of this season without Michael Parsons, because they traded away our best defensive player right before the season started. Nobody showed us any consideration that we played most of these games without the Morgan Overshown, our best linebacker. Nobody showed us any consideration, that we had Trayvon Diggs and DeRon Bland playing hurt. Nobody gave a damn, that Siobhan Revel, wasn't able to play until after the bye. Nobody cared that both our starting safeties were out of the starting lineup for prolonged periods of time. Nobody gave a damn. So I do not give a fuck that the Lions are hurt. I just don't. Because when we were hurt last year and we were going through it and we were beat up, they ran the score up on us. They showed no pity. They showed no mercy. And life is all about karma. They say that every action has a equal reaction. You know what I'm saying? And their time is coming. Their time is coming tomorrow. They're the hurt ones this time. We're the ones that get to put them out their misery. We're the ones, that get to blow them out in front of their home crowd while they're floundering. I will not pity them. I will shed no tears for them. I will show no sympathy or no empathy. We just gonna put a bullet in their head. But doggy, I gotta go to work. This was not a long show, but it was a good show. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to come and talk to y'all, a little bit, give y'all some of my thoughts, about this game coming up. And if we got time later on tonight, which we should, we probably have some time later on, we'll probably be live again. Because, this is a very important game. We got to figure out a way to win. But on the way out, please hit that like button. Please hit the share if you care. Please hit that Cash App or that Super Chat, man. This is an independent page. There are no sponsors. Y'all are the sponsors. So if y'all appreciate the content, appreciate the shows, and would like me to keep making more content, hit the Cash Apps and the Super Chats, man. A little goes a long way and help keep the lights on. But it's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. And I'm out. Oh, also, y'all let me know what y'all think about the new video. Cause I got a new video on here that I play now. So let me know what y'all think about the new intro and outro video, man. But God bless y'all, and I'm out.